Dave from Santa Monica, what do you want to talk to us about?
Hey, Mark, it's pretty interesting that you don't like going down to Florida because you were convicted of murder down there.
I was convicted of murder down there. Yep.
Yeah, you're a convicted murderer, and it's really great that, you get to promote all these things and all this kind of stuff, but the guy that you murdered, he's still dead. And
well, I didn't murder
family
anybody.
Of that guy.
I didn't kill anybody, Dave. You've called in on this several times, and here's what I want to know, Dave. This must be bothering you. There must be something you want. What can I do for you?
No, I don't want anything.
Well, then why do you call?
Because I think that you should be reminded. Actually, I would like to call almost every day. I think you should be reminded every single day that you're a murderer. And
except for he didn't murder anybody. So
well, I didn't kill anybody, Dave. And you don't seem to. You don't. How come, Dave? We've had this discussion.
So you're going to take the word of a murderer who says he didn't murder someone.
Well, Dave, there are 3 people in a hotel room, and 2 of them are dead. The only word you can take at this point is mine. You can decide whatever you want, but you're deciding based on.
You've changed your story several times, right?
Well, I was in prison. Would you go in with the story, I didn't do it? Or would you go in with the story, yeah, you weigh 125 pounds.
Oh, I thought I read that the reason that they picked you up is because you'd been bragging about the fact that you were the one that strangled him.
Well, but that's the newspaper. And there are certainly some people. Well,
so we're supposed to believe somebody's a convicted murderer over a reporter.
Do you believe everything you read in the papers, Dave?
Nope, but I don't believe you either.
Don't believe me.
You weren't involved in his murder.
Dave, how can I make you whole on this one? I mean, I don't know what to do for you, man.
It's all about making me whole. I remember I called you. The first thing I asked you, before I even mentioned the murder, I asked you, do you believe in reparations for crimes? And you said, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yet you've done nothing for any reparations for your crime.
That's not true. I've done everything that's been asked of me.
No, you did. What did you do for the family?
Everything that has been asked for me. The family was involved in whatever sentencing was.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of someone who's such a freaking hypocrite. Because you say, "Oh, I did everything that they asked of me."
What do you want me to do?
What I believe is in personal recognizance, or not recognizance, but personal reparations for things. But I did everything that was asked of me. So you can't blame me. Just because I was holding someone down when someone else was.
Are you just grasping at straws?
Well,
what do you expect them to ask of him?
He's already said.
What do you want?
He's already said he disagrees with me politically, dude. Yeah. And this is just his way of smearing me.
I mean, it really is obvious. I disagree with you politically.
What's that?
When did I say I disagree with you politically?
When you were on the air, you said you disagreed with me on about 40% of the issues.
What did you expect the family to ask of him?
40%, but I agree with you maybe on 60%.
What did you expect the family?
Every Democrat and Republican can do that, dude.
Yeah, well, that's what you just said. I disagree with you on the issues, but I agree with you on probably 60%.
What did you expect the family to ask of him? What did you expect the family to ask of him?
I didn't expect the family to ask anything of him.
So then he's done everything that the family has asked from him. Thank you for the call.
At some point, you just got to move on and leave the past in the past.
I mean, thanks for the call there, but you're repetitive and obnoxious. He's done everything that the family has asked of him, and you're like, well, you're a hypocrite because of that. Meh, meh.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just like, what are you talking about?
Well, Dave represents a certain amount of people out there that are upset.
Yeah. Sure, yeah.
And I don't know what to do about it.
Right.
Like, here's my options. My options are, because what Dave wants me to do is shut up.
Yeah,
that's what he ultimately. That's where it comes from.
You're supposed to be
because
Dave wouldn't all the time, forever and ever. Because
he wouldn't have had a problem if he never heard me on the radio, right?
Right.
So essentially,
I wonder if he does the same thing when cops kill people's families.
Well, no, he's never going to.
No, of course not.
An opportunity to have that conversation, but like my choices are to continue to live my life and do the best job I can, to live a life that makes the world a better place, or to kill myself. Those are my choices, and I don't think that's going to help my wife and my kid or anybody else in any way, shape, or form. Right. It's just going to make people who are angry that I disagree with them on some political issue or another feel better. Yes, I mean, the vitriolic, retributive voice out there in the world. It might make them feel better, but it's not going to make the world a better place.
Right. Well,
he doesn't like that I talk about morality and have had moral slips in my life. Well, here's the surprise: everybody has.
Right.
So we have another call on the line who wants to talk about Dave in Santa Monica. We've got Steve calling in from St. George, Utah. Steve, are you on the line?
Yeah. Hey, the first time I ever heard this Dave guy from wherever he calls from, because he gives a different city each time.
He sometimes switches his name up too.
Yeah, he was beating on Mark for that, and it was the first time I ever heard Mark talk about that. And I heard Mark say at that point that he did whatever was asked of him, and the people wanted him to go to jail, and that's what he ended up doing. I had never thought of that before, that people want somebody to go to jail, and that is a form of reparations. I don't know how he can't get that.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I wish that the family had other options at the time. I think that like justice could have better been served. The problem is that with the way that this antagonistic legal system works, you never really get a chance at the truth. And I told lies. There's no doubt about it. My 17-year-old ass tried to lie my way out of it, and nobody was going to believe me at that point. And so it looked worse than what had sort of happened.
And it's ridiculous to think here that 70 years later that you'd be the same person.
70? That's fine.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.